School leaders are working to make sure the next generation remembers what happened on April 19th.
Jonathan Cooper shows us an interactive art display designed to do just that.
From paintings to sketches, mixed media, and collages, these wide-ranging pieces of art representing the lives lost on April 19th, 1995.
I would like for people to be able to come and see what the life of these people was, and also the remembrance of the devastation.
But this art is not done by professionals, rather Broken Arrow High School students. Our teacher Jennifer Brown came up with the idea earlier this year.
I just started thinking about how these 15, 16, 17-year-old students may not even know what happened. You know, as a 60-year-old person, I can remember exactly where I was, what I was doing.
Wanting to teach all of her students about the bombing's history, Brown decided to print off photos and biographies of all 168 victims.
But it does tell some things. And
that's perfect.
The assignment, to create a piece of art they feel visually represents each victim.
They're all going to be 12 by 16. As far as medium goes, they were allowed to do whatever pretty much they wanted.
In January, we joined the class shortly after the project was assigned. 17-year-old Jordan TABBERER chose Dana and Christopher Cooper, a mother and son who died together. Dana was the director of the America's Kids Daycare. Her 2-year-old son would go to work with her.
Dana was going to be a teacher. She was taking early childhood learning classes.
Jordan's first task was doing research on both of them.
One of his descriptors was that he was very handsome and had a beautiful singing voice.
Using pastels, Jordan chose to draw Dana's hand and her son's.
I wanted the hands to show that she was reaching out to him. And then on the ribbons, it's going to be musical notes. And then this one, it's going to be the alphabet.
I started sketching and figuring out how to do motorcycles.
Across the table, senior Abby MUTTONI chose victim Margaret Goodson, who worked in the Social Security office with the disabled because she wanted to help people. Abby learned Margaret was in a motorcycle club and loved taking rides to Arkansas.
I decided, let's go for some mountains and get her motorcycle here and some birds over here, have her driving up the mountains.
Abby and Jordan say they grew up hearing about the bombing and learned even more through the project. But not all of her classmates were as familiar. German exchange student FELICIA STOEFFEL had never heard of the bombing before this.
We talked about it a little bit, and my host mom told me about it.
FELICIA created a collage for her project because her victim, Olin Bloomer, loved the outdoors. Olin worked on the 5th floor of the federal building in the U.S. Department of Agriculture office. And while not every student knew about what happened that day, everyone in this class learned their victim had a story that deserves to be told, and that evil robbed 168 families of someone they loved. Whether it was a teacher, a child, a wife, or an outdoorsman, all of their lives were cut tragically short.
People died who lived here, whose family lived here.
I think it allows us to connect with other people in Oklahoma. It's really just a good thing to know about. Don't let this happen.